So a few weeks ago, I have permission to share a story, and I won't use too many specifics or names. But a family came in here a few weeks ago because we had barbecue. They had a tree go through their house, went through the girl's bedroom, and miraculously, Grandma next door said, I have a bad feeling about this. Come over to my house. And they went over to Grandma's house, and the tree fell through the girl's bedroom. They're sad. They're upset. Things are impossible. They hear that there's free barbecue. They didn't even know this was a church. I mean, can you blame them? And literally it's like, well, at least it's barbecue. That's better. I'll have a better day because of that. And when they come in, part of what we did those 10 days of feeding people is not just giving people food, which is fantastic, but it's also sitting with people. And so some folks went and sat with this family, didn't know them, had no connection, but tell me your story. Tell me what's going on. And just started sharing life and sharing tears and sharing pain and frustration and the impossibility of what's going on. And then another person came and joined and started talking about the same thing. A destroyed house, there's no means to fix it. There's no one around to get a contractor. They're going to be full for months and months and months. And lo and behold, our friend Shannon Compton, I did use one name. I didn't ask him either because he's awesome. He comes in. He owns CNS Plumbing. And I think he came one time in those 10 days. And he came on that day at that time. And one person said, hey, Shannon, here's what's going on. He's a plumber. He can do anything. But he's a plumber. He's like, let me go to their house and take a look. Went to their house right away. Said, hey, let me call an electrician friend of mine right away. Right away. Within a few hours of them having barbecue here for lunch, the electricity was all tied up, and the part of the room that was destroyed was partitioned off, and they were back in the 80% of their home that was not destroyed. A few hours later, impossible. And through another friend, a contractor came out, and he sent a crew out, and this past Thursday, it's finished. They get to paint. I'm told it's one of the million different colors of pink. That's what it's going to be. The story didn't even come close to ending there. Because when the family came in, they said that they spent a lifetime feeling like they don't matter and feeling forgotten about. There was no hope. It was impossible. But then, the kindness of your congregation was like Jesus himself wrapping his arms around me and saying, yes, you do matter. It has been such a magnificent thing to experience the handiwork of God in all of this. So what I want to share with that, I want you to put yourself in that experience, is that in the midst of darkness and tragedy and impossibility, God's love worked in a lot of people in this building. The mighty power, the unimaginable power of God working within people. And then what happened is it leaked out. And that love of God that was within a group of people in this room leaked out, and it poured onto this family. And it didn't stop there. That family was so struck by God's love, it poured into their hearts, and then it started leaking out of them, where they're starting to go tell other people about what the Lord did. And the Lord gets all the credit. I'm so in awe. It was always, the Lord did this, and he used Grace Brevard, but it's the Lord who did this, that he gets all the glory and credit. And so they were telling other people about what's going on, and that included telling an aunt, the grandma's sister. There had been a rift between the two, and this story of God's love has healed or is healing that rift that had been going on for a long time. And so the love of God poured into us and then into them. And the love of God poured into them and then into mom and aunt. And then the love of God poured into that aunt. Guess what happened next? It went out of the aunt. The aunt is a hairdresser. What do hairdressers do? Ginger, where are you? You talk to your peoples. And as the aunt is talking to her peoples, the next client, I was going to say patient. The next client is a vocal, devout atheist and says, I don't want to hear it. And the aunt says, nope, you're going to hear this. And proceeds to share the story of the love of Jesus poured in and through and in and through and then in and through. And at the end of the story, the man is weeping, saying, I need to rethink what I believe. That is an impossible power of God. No one could have possibly imagined that would have happened. You couldn't write enough of possibilities. Like, here's the 80 things that could happen. That would not have been on my list. But it was on the Lord's list.